Hello and welcome to a new trip report. We are in Denmark. We are just outside the airport of Billund. Today we will be flying from Billund to Frankfurt with Lufthansa, but more on that flight a bit later. So we are here on our way into the terminal. A really nice airport, I must say. It is the second largest airport in Denmark. I really do like this airport. It has some really good strengths. It also has a few weaknesses. We can talk more about that also a bit later. But it is definitely a nice airport to travel from and to. And of course it does give me the chance to travel internationally from Denmark without having to go to Copenhagen. If you have seen any of my previous trip reports, you might know that Copenhagen airport is not really my favorite airport. But anyway, we are inside the terminal here. I must say I still like this airport very much. It used to be basically my home base from where I did all my travels. It's not anymore, unfortunately, but anyway, it's a really nice looking airport. We are here in the departure hall, which is also, well, if you look a bit to the side, we also are in the arrival hall. It's one big hall basically. It's not that big of an airport, but it's a very nice airport. Now we are on our way to the security checks. Obviously we can't film there, so I will meet you on the other side. So we are now on the other side of the security check. The checks were very unspectacular, so let's quickly talk about why I actually like this airport. Now, today's flight will be scheduled to depart at 18:40, which means boarding is at 18:10, and because of the size of the airport, half an hour before boarding is plenty of time to arrive at the airport, in normal circumstances of course. And I'm sure those of you who travel a lot, just like me, would agree that the less time you can spend in an airport, the better, because you basically spend a lot of time there anyway, and it can be a bit boring at times. So if you can reduce that time, that's awesome, and you can do that from this airport. Also, many of the major European airlines are flying from here: Lufthansa, Air France, KLM, British Airways, Ryanair, Norwegian, Scandinavian Airlines, and so on and so on. So you can very quickly go on your international travels if you want to do that. One of the reasons I don't really like this airport is that although it is an international airport, it is still very much a little province airport, and the staff is, well, not really trained to really be up to international standards, and that can sometimes be a bit annoying and sometimes even create some really stupid situations. But anyway, we are now on our way to the lounge. Today we are flying with Lufthansa and on business class, and that will give us access to the lounge. If you are flying as a frequent traveler on Lufthansa, so with the silver card, that would not give you access to the lounge here, unfortunately. They only give you lounge access if you fly business class or are a senator or Hun Circle member, that's how it's called. I can't promise you how much I can film here, but I will try my best to film a little bit in the King Amlet lounge. So we are now inside the lounge. Unfortunately, it is actually quite surprisingly busy today here, so I will not film too much, but I can show you just here through the windows where we actually came from a few minutes ago. We were walking through here, the shopping area, and now we're here just one level above. So we are now on our way out of the lounge, and that is obviously because we are very close to boarding time. And I think this is the best time for me to give you a little bit more information about our flight today. So as I said earlier, today we'll be flying Lufthansa from Billund to Frankfurt. We will be flying on flight LH841. We are flying on seat 3F, that means we are flying business class. We will be flying on an Airbus A319-100, and our departure gate here in Billund is gate 12. Now, as I said earlier today, everything is fairly quick here at the airport, so every distance is very short, which is always nice. So we are actually already almost at our gate. We just have to go downstairs here, and then we will already be there. I already saw that the aircraft is at our gate, which is awesome, because that means we will most likely not have any delays. So let's just get down here, and then I think I will see you when I'm on board, but let's see what happens. so we are on board, we are already in our seat, and we can see that the pushback has just started. Let me just give you a quick update about the boarding. Today it was very unproblematic, which I'm very happy about, because I've mentioned it a few times before, staff here at the airport can sometimes be not up to standards. Today everything went smoothly and quite well, so I can't complain about that. As you can see, the weather here in Denmark today is a little bit meh. We've had quite some showers, but once in a while you also get a little bit of sunshine. It's not too hot today, it's actually a bit cold. I think about 16, 17 degrees, not more Celsius, of course. Yeah, but anyway, we are now being pushed back, and I think I will just leave you with that, and then we can talk again a bit later when we are getting closer to Frankfurt, and we can see how the flight went. We are back, we are getting closer to Frankfurt, so it is time to make a quick summary of this flight. So we started obviously in Billund, and after taxiing for a little while we then went out on runway 27, where we did a few turns before we then finally turned towards south when flying over Hamburg, and then now of course we're getting closer to Frankfurt. Now, let me get you a few more details about the flight itself. The flight crew was very nice today, paid good attention, was very friendly, so a very nice flight experience. Also, the food today was actually quite nice, nicer than I thought when I saw it firstly. It was some seafood, there was a little bit of chicken, some seaweed, and it was actually quite nice. We had also a few other things like bread, there were some cookies and another dessert. So all in all, a very nice flight today, and we can see obviously the weather here in Frankfurt is much nicer than it was in Denmark. And I always love coming in from this side. We have such a nice view over Frankfurt. You can see the skyline of Frankfurt, which by the way is actually the only German city that has a proper skyline. And in a few moments we will also be able to see the football stadium of the largest football club in Frankfurt, also known as Eintracht Frankfurt. Their stadium is called Commerzbank Arena. That's also very nice. Should appear any moment now. Any second, I guess. There it is, there it is. Obviously, here it is. Took a little longer than I thought. Well, here it is. It's a lovely, lovely arrival into Frankfurt. I think I will leave you with that, and then I will get back to you just after the landing, and then we can talk a little bit more about what's gonna happen after that. So see you in a little bit. So as you can see, a nice and smooth landing we had here in Frankfurt. We came in on runway 25 left, and now the question is what's going to happen now. Obviously a few options. The most likely thing is that we will get an apron position and then go in by bus. I'm pretty used to that, at least from Billund. But obviously we could also be lucky and actually go straight to the terminal building. Let's see what happens. I will speed this up probably, and then yeah, see you when I know more. So we are getting close to the end of our journey today. We were lucky we didn't get an apron position, so we can go straight into the terminal. I think we're just waiting for the clearance at the moment. It looks like we will come in to A+, which is the latest extension of Frankfurt Airport. A very nice one, by the way. For me, I think I will call it a day with this. I do actually have another flight today, but as that will only be in a few hours, and then it will get late and dark outside, I might get a bit tired, and also when it gets dark, obviously it's a bit difficult to film. So that's why I decided only to film this part of my journey. But I have really enjoyed this trip. It's been a nice flight. It's been a huge pleasure to have you with me. I hope you've enjoyed traveling with me here today. And if you have, feel free to leave a like. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. That would be absolutely awesome. I think I will just take you with me into the terminal building and then say my final goodbyes for today's trip. So welcome to Frankfurt. We are of course off the plane now and getting into A+. From here I will then continue my journey, but with that I would like to call it a day Of course, once again, thanks for traveling with me. I hope you have enjoyed it. I can't really say when my next trip report will be. I do travel fairly regularly, but at the moment I don't really know when my next flight will be. But I'm sure we'll see each other fairly soon. Yes, so with that I would like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out. And bye.